What we do here is we do corn nurseries, corn research.
I think right now there's so many unknowns.
Some of the seeds will be analyzed for their genetic content.
It is now the biggest factor in our world's largest crops. It's almost impossible not to eat it. And it is a huge issue playing out right in our backyard. We're talking about GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, and a big part of how this industry is developing is happening right here in Hawaii. Tonight, we start a three-part series, Food for Thought. First, an introduction as we open a window into the world of GMOs. GMOs, GEs, transgenic.
I think a lot of people actually don't even know what that means.
Genetic engineering has entered our food chain in a big way. Today, more than half of the crops grown in the United States are GMOs. According to the USDA, right now that's 88% of all corn crops. Cotton, 90%. Soybeans, 94%. In 2010, U.S. farmers planted 165 million acres of GMO crops. In fact, the U.S. uses more genetically modified seeds than any other country in the world.
This is the kind of corn we work with here.
As far as where those seeds come from, Hawaii is key.
This is an important location for our worldwide operations. What we do here is build new varieties of corn and soybean.
We talked and took a tour with Fred Perlak, head of operations for Monsanto Hawaii, based in Kunia.
You actually take a bag and put it over the tassel, a plastic bag, a paper bag, and then you hold it, you turn it over, knock the pollen off, then take the bag and pour the pollen on top of the silks, and then put another bag so no additional pollen will come on.
And you're doing that how many times over?
500,000 on this farm alone in 1 year.
It's all about research and development here in the state.
Maui Council member Ellie Cochran is one of many Hawaii lawmakers keeping a close eye on what's happening here.
What they create on Maui is what they're sending out worldwide. It's like the top breed, the cream of the crop, so to speak.
Cochran is concerned about GMO crops statewide. The Hawaii State Association of Counties presents a package to lawmakers every session. Cochran championed a provision to support GMO labeling. All counties approved it except for Oahu, so that provision was dropped.
We had hours and hours and hours of testimony.
According to the Hawaii Crop Improvement Association, Monsanto is just one of 5 major companies planted here in the islands. There's also Syngenta, Dow AgroSciences, BASF, and Pioneer, owned by DuPont. Companies that own or lease 25,000 acres on Oahu, Kauai, Maui, and Molokai. All test and grow genetically modified seeds, Perlak says, to add value to farmers' crops.
Natural disease resistance, better root growth, stronger stalks, better plant architecture. Probably want to introduce something like 100 new varieties on an annual basis at Monsanto. To get that 100 varieties, we start with hundreds of thousands.
In genetic engineering, scientists insert new traits from a similar breed or something completely different right into the DNA of a plant or animal. And the reasons for doing it are endless. Rainbow papaya, genetically modified to resist the ring spot virus. Soybeans, resistant to pesticides. Corn, genetically modified to handle drought. Rice, with added vitamins. And that's just the beginning. There's strawberries with flounder genes to resist frost. Goats with spider genes to produce milk with silk fibers. Pigs' noses that glow in the dark thanks to a jellyfish gene. The list goes on, plants and animals that grow faster, produce more, eat less, leave less waste. But also make infection-fighting drugs, grow organs for human transplant, and treat chronic diseases.
These varieties will help increase the efficiency and productivity of farmers around the world, which has implications for all of us.
You have people that are really up in arms.
Cochran says she's not given up. She's at the Capitol to keep the issue of what to do about GMOs on lawmakers' plates, an issue that's increasingly hard to ignore.
I'm digging more into it and learning and studying and seeing what is this about.
Now, the development of GMOs has been happening in Hawaii for more than 40 years, but really ramping up in the last 10. Now, we're going to be covering this issue throughout our newscast tomorrow, laying out both sides of the issue, plus what's going on with lawmakers and why some of the bills on GMO labeling struggle to survive. Now, if you want to learn more about GMOs, just check out our website. We'll be adding more eye-opening information. Just go to the Hot Topics section of KITV.com. Again, much more tomorrow night on KITV4 News at 10.
Fascinating stuff. And Laura, why did this industry become so big here in Hawaii?
You know, if you think about our history here in Hawaii, first of all, we have beautiful weather here, so they can plant 4 times a year, unlike the mainland, maybe once they get a crop in. And also, because of the farmers here that worked in the plantation fields, they're skilled for this kind of work, so it really melded well for what they wanted to try and do.
Looking forward to the rest of the series tomorrow and the day after.